All right, so completing my 2021 trading plan by 2020 Day Trader. So this is part 2 in a series. So if you didn't see part 1, please go watch that first. The link will be in the description, and there'll also be a link on the end screen at the end of this video back to part 1 as well. But make sure you see that one before you get into part 2. All right, so let's get into part 2. So, all right, cool. So going back over to our strategy. So swing trading done. Now let's go look at the scaling ladder by dollar amounts. So this I'm going to use for day trading. So with my day trading account, I need to figure out what I'm going to do here. So this is basically my first trade. Am I risking $100 my first 10 trades? Is that what I want to do? So you saw it was green over here, and now it's not because my account doesn't have enough money above my starting balance to fill this in. So this is going to look at my starting balance and then see how much money I am above that starting balance. Starting balance is based on dashboard, day trade, what I put in here, starting account balance. So this ladder is looking at that balance and then seeing what my account total is and seeing how much money above that balance I am. And then that tells me what I'm going to, it'll highlight green, letting me know my progress. So I can just quickly look over and see what my risk reward is. Go to the calculator, put in $100 and see how many shares I can buy. All right. So scaling ladder. So what is this going to be for this year's strategy? I'm going to go back to my blocks here and then come up to my day trades. And then I can look at these and see what my potential is. So I need to be able to hold all of these at the same time. So CVS, obviously I'm going to have one position at a time open in it. It's one ticker. So that's one. I have 5 tickers. So I have 5 that I could be holding open at one time. And then I'm going to look at their risk reward and percentage win rate and how often I have losers. I could be, in a day I could have 2 losers here. So I need to account for that. That could be a double on that one. Same thing with this one. So if I'm going to risk $100 on this, I actually could be losing 200. And that's because of my speed bump plays. It's possible that I have a loss on both ends, short and long, and you lose both times. Man, it's so frustrating. So, but it's possible. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So I could have 2 here, 2 here. So I'm lose. If I'm doing 100, that's $200 I can lose on that trade. That's $200 I can lose on that trade. That's $400 in one day. And then over here at PPS, doesn't really ever happen, but it's possible. So that's 600 I can lose in a day. Nug has never happened to me yet because I only trade it one direction. It's long only because it's hard to borrow short. So that's 6. That's 700 I could lose in a day. 900 I can lose in a day. 1,000, 1,100 I could lose in a day. So if I trade all these in one day and it's just a terrible day, that's $1,100 I can lose. So I need to be able to prepare for that. So how many losers in a row do I typically get? Well, 2 losers in a row. I don't usually ever have 3 losers in a row based on past experience, except for right here, this one time. So it can happen, but that's not typical. So usually I'm pretty good to go. I don't usually have more than 2 losers in a row. So $2,200 is what I could potentially have. And then we'll just throw a little bonus in there, say 2,400. And then we'll say we had slippage, some screw ups in the order entry. And we're going to say 2,600 is what I'm looking at losing. So $2,600 is what I could lose in my start. So if I blow up my account when I get started and I miss out on all these winners afterwards, that doesn't work out so good. So 2,600, my account has 2,750 in it. So once I lose 2,500, it's game over for that account and I'll have to fund it again. So do I have money to fund my account if I want to start with $100? Yeah, I got some money in reserve. I could fund that account and pretty fast and get in. So, do I want to start with $100? So based on what you saw and having to have a really bang up 2 days, worst case scenario, I barely blow up my account with $100. I really don't think I'll get to worst case scenario. And if I do have money I can refund my account with. So I'm going to go ahead and start with $100 risk reward on this. So that'll put me at $1,000 in profit. And then what am I going to scale up to? So if I scale up to $200 risk reward, you know, I could have a bad couple days, which means I would be losing $4,000. And if I lost $4,000 with those bad days, you know, I'm only have $1,000 more in my account right now, so I could be in trouble. So as much as I want to be aggressive with 200, I'm going to do it with 150. And that's going to help keep me a little bit stable. This is very aggressive. If I didn't want to be this aggressive, I was a new trader, not sure, this would be way down, like in the $50 range, as long as my commissions wasn't going to hurt me too bad. And then the other thing is, can I even afford as many shares as this is going to be? So, you know, if I'm willing to risk 150 bucks, go to calculator. So let's say I'm willing to risk 150, and I'm looking at a stock that's moving 10 cents. And let's say it's CVS, and let's say CVS is trading at 100 bucks. So the most shares I can buy is 1,000. And in order to make this money, I would need to buy 1,500. I can't even afford to do this setup with CVS, right? So I don't even have enough money to do that. And then if I want to be able to trade a bunch of stocks at the same time, so I'm not getting lucky, so you can see how this works out. I have 5 stocks. Let's say they're all 100 bucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. All right. So the most I can buy really of any one of these and have all of them at one time is around 200 shares. So now I'm looking at risk rewards of, in order to hit this target of 1,500 shares. I can't even do that. So the most I can do is 200 shares. So that's not even going to really work out. Now I'm looking at, you know, what am I looking at? 20 bucks a trade. So I'm way off my financial goals now, because when I come back over here to my scaling ladder and I can see this, my financial goals, this is going to kind of show me what my year is going to look like. So per trade, this could go fast. You know, all these can happen in one day. All these can happen in one day. So, you know, by tomorrow I could be up to risking 200 per trade. So this could go fast, but this is going to kind of give me an idea what my year is going to look like, how many trades I need to have in a year, right? So let's say this goes to 250, 250, and then we're going to go to 300. I'm just going to stop here for now, and then I'll show you what the finished product was. Save your time. All right, so, you know, 71 is where we're at on this number. Where do we start at? 22. So we're just going to say 50 trades. I come back over to my backtest blocks. And how many trades are we looking at? What's realistic here trade-wise? Now, this is over a 90-day period. So in 90 days, I can easily do that with just CVS alone. I can easily do that with QCOM. So now we're looking, you know, that's pretty good. So, and then down here, I'm looking at these numbers, you know, easily doing that with this plus this. So we're looking at doing 4 times that. So now I can come back in 90 days. I can come back over to my scaling ladder. So this is basically showing, you know, 50 trades. So I can do 200 trades potentially in 90 days. So I probably can get to this level within a month. Basically is what that's telling me. And then, you know, within 90 days, I'll probably do 4 times this. So then if I take this and I say I'm going to go to 400 here. So I'm just going to fill these in, and then we'll come back. Okay, so if you get to the bottom and you have this right here, you can go to unprotect, and then just grab it, move it over a little bit so you can see those numbers. Then go back to protect so I don't mess it up. All right, cool. So now I've got my my deal all filled in. So at the bottom, at the end of my year, not at the end of my year, but at the end of this block here. So like in 90 days, we saw that I'm doing around 50 trades. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So I'm sorry, 90 days I'm doing around 200 trades. So this is 70 is what we said, 170. Sorry, see 22. Let's scroll to the bottom, and 190. So we're just gonna say, because I'm gonna have losers in here. So and then I can, so I know I'm gonna have losers, right? So this is basically, so 22 minus 90. We're just gonna say 21 minus 91, 191. So we're looking at, 171. So after 171 trades, if they were all winners, which is not going to happen, this is what I'd be looking at, 171 trades. So we're looking at 200 trades within 90 days. So I can be at 326,000 in 90 days if I never had a loser, which we know we're going to have losers. So then I can go ahead and pull up this calculator. All right, so we're looking at around 200 trades. That's what we're looking at, 90 days. So I know that my win rate is 80% roughly or better, but we're going to have a 70% win rate. So with the 70% win rate, we'll say 286 trades times 0.7, just to do a check on here, we get to 200. Okay, cool. So I'm looking at 286 trades roughly is what it's going to take me to achieve this number, 286 trades. And of course, I might miss trading days and make mistakes, all these other things that come in. So we're just going to say 300 trades. So if it requires me to make 300 trades to get to here, and I'm doing about 200 trades every 90 days, so we're looking pretty good. So in about 4 or 5 months, I can be looking at this number. So, and I'm just going to leave it there. And everything I make over this, basically everything I make every month, I'm just going to pull that money out. So when we get to 4,000 right here, I'll probably keep, 10 days of 10 trades in there. And I can always refund this. So once I get more than 126 grand in my account, I'm going to start taking a paycheck. So now I've just determined when am I going to start getting paid, right? Trading, doing all this work, but when do I get paid? So I'm going to start getting paid after this because I need all this in my account to sustain my account, give me the buying power I need. And maybe I don't. Maybe actually because the stock tickers I've been trading have been going up so much, they're really expensive. So now in order to maintain the buying power, maybe I need to start getting a paycheck after this number. So that'll be a factor that'll play into my paycheck. But until then, I'm not taking a paycheck because I need this money in my account to be able to grow it, to reach my goals, to be where I want to be. Now, if this is my only source of income and I don't have any money from last year to keep me going, then I'll have to take paychecks along the way, which is going to affect my account value, which is also going to affect how fast my account grows. And I'll need to take that into account in my trading plan to see what my year looks like and am I at risk of blowing up my account because I pulled too much out and now I can't sustain. So with this trading log, so you see how it's green here? It'll be green as making money. But if I make a withdrawal in my account, what I need to do is I need to go over to my trading log. So account 1 we'll say for now. And I would put in here, withdraw amount. And then I would put numbers in here to make my withdrawal amount work out to be the exact amount and make sure I put a note in there that I withdrew money. This way, I have a record of when I withdrew my money on the date. It'll automatically adjust all the balances here. And then I'll be able to automatically on my scaling ladder see the green bars go back and reflect where my account is over my starting balance so that I can then risk reward the proper amount based on what my plan is. So anyway, I hope this really helps you out on how I set up my risk reward and how I set up my trading plan to move my accounts forward. And then I'll do this exact same thing with the futures market. What is it that I'm willing to risk reward in the futures market? And that's a little trickier for you who understand the futures market and the way the leverage works. It's a lot easier to risk management. I'm going to show you a regular equities account. Because over here I can say that, I'm going to pick up 200 shares. Well, in the futures market, that means I might have to pick up 200 contracts. And those contracts might be really expensive and my account might not be able to afford it. So in my futures account with the ES, I can only afford one contract. So if that is a 50-cent move or a $50 move or a $100 move, I only have one contract. I can't really adjust my contract size to be able to maintain this exact number. So that gets a little bit trickier in the futures market. So let's go look at that real quick. Go back to my backtest blocks. So here's my futures market. So this is what I'm looking at win-loss wise. So basically I can see this and say, all right, so I have a couple losers in a row. That's why my starting account balance is what it is. And that kind of gives me an idea of what my account is going to grow. So futures calculator. And then come over here and I can punch in all these numbers based on as my account is moving to see what's going on. And I could say, you know, I want to risk only a percentage of my account, but really I might not be able to afford the share size differential to be able to even, you know, to make a difference. Like I might be forced risking 3% of my account because I can't go down more, you know, I can afford one contract. So, and with the leverage on it, that is what it is. I might be just risking 3% of my account, but I know I can sustain those risks because of past performance. I have an idea that in the future, I'll probably be able to sustain those with my account and I'll be all right. So, and then the question is, when do I scale up and all that stuff in the futures market? So basically for me, I use this to see, and I'll be tracking this. I'm going to show you that in a second. I'll be tracking this to see when I can scale up. So I typically don't have that many losers in a row with these strategies. So for me, what I'm going to do is I can come over to my scaling ladder and then futures account. And this can go based directly off my futures account if I want. I can say, you know, risk rewarding on average $50 because I know from back testing or past trading performance. And I'm going to keep it in that area. It might be 30 to 50, but not more than 50. This is my max range. So, and then I'm going to do that. And then down here, maybe my max range would be 100. So when I get to this level, if I can afford another contract, which I won't be able to, I need to get to 1300. So it's probably going to stay at 50 until because 1300 is what it costs me per the MES contracts. So this is based on the MES because most of you will have small accounts. So so we go down here and I say small, like you're not trading with $100,000 future accounts, a lot of you. So I want this to be realistic for you. So maybe it's another 50 here because this is realistic to be in the $50 range. Try not to be too much over that risk loss. So now I get to this level. Now I can go and raise it up because I can afford another contract. So this is also going to help me see what my year is going to look like and how long it's going to take to really make money in my futures account this year and grow it. And then maybe when I get to 13,000, do I want to jump over to an ES contract and then start this over on an ES contract? So and that's kind of how I do it for my futures market, and I can get an idea what that movement's going to be and my risk plan. So I'm not more than 50 bucks here, and then when I get to hundreds, I'm going to try not to do more than 100. But now what this is doing is showing me the exponential growth. So you can see that it took all of these trades to be able to add another contract. And now I only need to add $1,300 more. So we're at 1,500. So once I get to, you know, basically 3,000 in the account, I can add another contract. So now it only took me 2 blocks, right? Took 3 there, took 2 there. So now I can add another contract. So another contract is going to get me to 150. So now we're moving. So now you can see how this is going to grow much faster. So I was at 3,000 or 3,600 here. So once I get to 4,800, 4,900, I'll easily be able to add another contract. Look at that, one set, and I'm already adding another contract. So now we're going to go up to 200. And now from 4,800 to once I get to around 6,200, I can comfortably add another contract. Easily happens right here. So I could right here go up to 250. All right. Oops. There we go. So 250. And then from 6,400, once I get to 7,800 roughly, that's when I can scale up again. Oops, not 2,500, 2,250. So basically right here, I can be scaling up another contract. You see how this goes? So you see the exponential growth. So I'm going to continue this and then we'll pick back up. So you can see here, once we get into this zone, every trade that's a winning trade, I can scale up a contract. So exponentially, the growth is increased quite a bit and will increase a lot more here in a minute. Okay, so now I can double my contract. So now it will scale even faster. And then after this, I can pretty much triple my contracts. And now you can see the exponential growth. So once we get to this level, we're looking at 137,000 dollars in the account. And again, we're looking at if we could take about the same percentage win rate as a day trading with the futures market, pretty close, 84, 80. So we're doing pretty good in the futures market. So yeah, so basically 280 trades, we're going to say, with some missed days. Maybe it's 300 trades. So that's pretty much going to be the year in the futures market. So if we go back to, where are we scaling ladder? Yeah, so I mean, yes, this is a 90-day trading period here. So with my red light, green light, we're doing pretty good. And that's assuming that I average around those numbers, right? So some trades will be less and some trades will be more. So, 280 is what we're looking at there, 211. So we're able to do, 60 to 70 trades with this one every 90 days. Over here, not so much. So again, we're not even looking close to that. So that easily 280 deal is, at the most we would probably do in a year with the futures market with this scaling would be 137,000. So that kind of gives me a good projection, and that's including the other one too, which I didn't go look at, red line, which is a higher frequency trade but lower reward. So in the end, this is what's potential. At the most, I would do in a year, probably be quite a bit less than this. Maybe it'd be around 100 grand. But at least it gives me some idea of what my growth is. Because in the beginning, when I'm like, oh man, I'm not making any money. I'm not making really any money. When do I take a paycheck? And then I can see where the growth gets exponential. But if I want to try to achieve 100 grand in this year with this starting balance, it's pretty awesome. When you think about it, I'm starting with $1,500. So if I turn 1,500 into 100 grand percentage-wise, come on, that is insane. So it's pretty awesome. And then next year, if I want, I could start, even faster. Maybe I take a paycheck of 50 grand out of this, and then I start at at the $50,000 level, which is right around here. So and then this is what I start with for the following year, and I plug it in. So pretty awesome growth. So this is how I do my risk management, how I create my trading plan, and all that. But now I need to track it. So that's the next part, right? Strategy tracker. So over here in strategy tracker, I have my day trading. So simple switch modified. So all my simple switch modifieds will be under strategy 1, the blues. And I got my tickers loaded in. And then as I'm doing my trades, I'll be able to compare how each strategy is doing. So modified is blues. Regular simple switch is in the red, and then the green over here I will use for my futures. So we'll go ahead and change that to, we're going to start with MES, which it doesn't matter if it changes to MES, but it's going to be red light, green light, and then we'll fill this one in. And just for space, actually, I'm going to go ES. It's all the same chart, ES, and then we're going to do SN for sniper. And then I'm just going to do ES, and we're going to put red line RL. So see how that cut off? So I can expand it up here too if I want. So I'm just going to do ES for all these. It's the same chart. So there we go. So now I have my futures market. So I can see how these line up with my day trading and my futures. But I don't have enough room for my swing trading. So strategy 2 over here, I'll go ahead and add all my swing trade tickers into this area here. So, and then I'll be able to track my swing trading on here and see what my daily win rates are based on that, a total of the tickers. And I can also scroll down and see what those are. And I'll put in my closing trades here. Now when I open the swing trade, it'll be my closing trade. And same thing in the futures market. It'll be my closing trades because some of those carry overnight. So that'll be my closing trades. And then I'll be able to use this tool to see what my percentages are, losses, all that stuff. Track strategies. And then I can look at this and say, you know what? This modified play is just not working out this year. I might have to look at either finding new tickers or dumping it all together and just focusing on strategy 2. So, or vice versa and stuff like that. So that gives me all that great data right there. So, and then I'll use this log, you saw a log over there. I'll enter my trades. I'll enter my, what's going on in the day. I'll go to my back test blocks and just plug in, win loss, so I can keep track of the consistency of the trades. It takes me only a few minutes a day to be able to plug all this information in, especially if I'm doing it as the trades come up. And then I can have my snapshots and keep track to see if I need to modify any of my plays. So hope this was helpful for you all. This is how I do my trade plan for the year, how I track it. And now on my YouTube channel, as I'm taking trades, I'll be showing the log so you can see how everything plays out over the course of the year and how things work, how I adjust things, how I track my scaling ladders and all that stuff you'll be able to see. And then as I'm doing all of that at the same time on my dashboard, I'll have my tallies here, and we can see in the calendar how everything's adding up and how my year is shaping up. So yeah, so if you have any questions about this, or there's any way I can help you all out, leave a comment below. I'll try to get back to you as quick as possible. And yeah, awesome year trading ahead. Go over to 2020daytrader.com or click the link below. Get this log. All my trading classes over there are free. If you were to trade off the algorithm, then there's a fee for the algorithm, one-time fee for the algorithm, unless you do a monthly payment plan to make it easier for yourself. But all the education can help out with any strategy. There's good information there. Those classes are all free. I go into risk management a little bit, and a lot of it, I should say. It's one of the most important things. And then also my strategies and everything. All that information over there is free, and definitely go check it out. And we'll see you on the channel.